Everyone, and welcome to the MBS show reviews. This time we're going to review episode 20 of season 4, episode 85 overall, Leap of Faith, written by Josh Haber. And if you're listening to the previous two episodes, we are reviewing this one right after reviewing Mod Pie and For Whom the Suitable Toils. So you may wonder why we are still doing this and why our voices sound a bit tired. That's why. That is exactly why. There is no other explanation whatsoever.
Back to back.
And in case you didn't know already, this is James Corck, and here I have my awesome friend and co-host, Norman Sanzo. Hey, Norman.
Hey, guys. James, before you start, Leap of Faith, does that remind you of a wrestling move or something?
I'm not a fan of wrestling.
Oh, okay.
You know, we're starting this review with the wrong foot because I think you talk about wrestling, which is something that I am not really a big fan of. Kind of like I'm a bit offended by it, to be honest with you. and right into this episode, which, to be honest, I have quite a lot of problems with it.
Oh, really? No.
I do. I do. I think this is the one that this is going to be okay. Do you know how every season has like a limit of episodes before we trump into the one that is like not that good?
Yeah, for some person.
You know, it's like in season 1 it was to me at least it was Call of the Cutie. Mm-hmm. In season 2 it was The Mysterious Murderwell for many people. Mm-hmm. For me it was Putting Your Hoof Down, but never mind. Mm-hmm. In season 3 it was Wonderbolt's Academy, and so far I really thought that this season was going to completely avoid it, but then, no, this episode premiered, and it was like, oh, there you go.
Really, no, I didn't felt that for this one. I mean, I know what you mean, because my episode was not just for psychics, Spike at Your Service. That one was a really terrible one for me, and I did not enjoy that one at all, if you're talking about the Spike aspect. But I do understand what you mean.
In the end, it's just opinion. You don't have to be angry. And you people don't have to be upset. And you know what I say? That I have said this from the very first time that we started reviewing episodes in this show. When I said, this is just opinion. You don't really need to share it. You don't really need to get mad. And even in the worst episodes of this TV show, even the worst episodes have something good in it. Mm-hmm. And if I have a problem with any of them, it's completely and absolutely personal.
Oh, yeah.
And it is definitely a personal problem that I have with this episode. But you know what? I'm going to give Norman the spotlight because he has given it to me during Mod Pie and during For Whom the Suitable Toils. So I am going to give him the spotlight in this one because I'm going to be the counterpoint. I'm going to be Ebenezer Scrooge in this one. I'm going to be the bad guy. I'm going to talk about the parts of the episode that I have a problem with. So, Norman, take it away.
Well, I do enjoy this episode because you don't know that this is a key episode near the end. I do like how it challenges Applejack's perspective about honesty, because honesty is a broad sense. In the show, you got Applejack saying, no, this is dishonest. And with the Flim Flam, they said that if it makes people happy, is it dishonest? Yeah. And it works, right? Yeah, we're not lying. Yeah. It's the grey line. And the grey line is always hard to cross. It's not lying, it's not telling the truth, it's in the middle. And with this whole aspect of the Flim Flam being con artists, it's fun to see them back again. And James, what about you?
I have a big problem with the Flim Flam brothers. Ever since the first time they showed up, since the first time they appeared in the show, I was undecided on whether I love to hate them or I write down hate them, because I had no idea what I couldn't make my mind about these guys, because I am like, okay, let's see, what are they doing? And then the way they act and the way they behave, they are kind of like a hyperbolic version of Trixie, in that they're not just one, they're two, and only that, but they are attacking Ponyville with something that it's not a monster, it's not a magic spell or anything, it's the economy. They are attacking Ponyville with their economy, and they are being so relentless and heartless about it that they are able to kick the Apple family out of their house, and they are laughing about it. They are being complete and absolute irredeemable.
That's not a word.
About it. So when I heard that they were going to come back, I thought, well, if Trixie came back, if Trixie had her redemption episode, are we going to see the Film From Brothers having the redemption episode? Or are they going to still be into sniveling cunt?
That's not a word.
Turns out, they don't get redeemed in this episode. They don't have redemption at all. Instead, the one that gets a redemption is a character that appears for like less than 5 minutes in the entire episode. It doesn't have a lot of character development. In fact, to be honest with you, he doesn't have any character development whatsoever. And they just go away for the second time from the same town after the first time, like, conniving and managing to kick a family that has, mind you, been one of the founders, if not the founder of Ponyville. Without them, they wouldn't exist. And then they just let them stay there. I was getting so angry at the attitude of the Ponyvillians because these guys are idiots. Don't they see the Film Flam Brothers and think, oh, wait a minute, these are...
That's not a word.
From season 2 that they almost left us without cider and without apples, that tried to trick us into this kind of thing. So what are we going to do? Oh, we're going to let them stay, and we're going to buy all of their stuff. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's...
That's not a word.
We're going to buy all of it. And I was there sitting and thinking, these guys are...
That's not a word.
Idiots. I'm going to swear like a truck driver in this episode. I already warned you guys, but I was getting very mad. I was like, these guys are stupid. Like, what happens? Did you forget? Do you have like short-term memory loss? Don't you remember that one time they showed up? Like, at the beginning, I thought the episode was going fairly well because it didn't look like Ponyville. It didn't look like they were in Ponyville. And I was like, oh, maybe they are like in a farther region of the land. Or like they're in another town that the Flim Flams haven't hit yet. But no, they explicitly say that there is a swimming competition going on in Ponyville, so it's Ponyville, and I am like, this is stupid. You guys are stupid. Oh my God, you people are so stupid.
Well, James, I think you're missing the point on the Flim Flam Brothers. They're con artists, so they can trick people in the same place twice.
No, they can't. Come on, they are using the same name. They didn't even change their faces. They look the same. People forgot about it.
No, but
one of the most
James,
important events in the entire TV show, and they forgot about it. Are you kidding, Norman?
No, but the thing is, back then they were challenging the Apple family to the rights to the Apple family farm. And back then, technically, if you think about it, they didn't really do anything bad. They were just challenging for the deed to the land.
No, they were doing something bad. They were trying to trick them into taking their land, and you know what? They did, and they won. And if it wasn't for the attitude of the Ponyvillians, they wouldn't. They would have stayed.
Yeah, but the thing
and
is,
the worst thing is that no. You know what? No, I'm out.
A lot of people seem to forget that in the first appearance of the Flim Flam Brothers, they were, obviously they were the villain. But if you think about it from a Ponyville's perspective, they wanted more cider. The Apple family couldn't produce any more cider. So
but you know what happened when they... You know what happened when they kicked the Apple family out of Ponyville? That the town cried their way out. They cried when they left. Yeah, so, what lesson is there? There is no lesson. And this is even worse than I thought. Because who is the one that buys the first bottle of tonic? Oh, none other than Granny Smith, that got screwed over by the Flim Flam Brothers when they arrived for the first time. So, no, this is stupid. I hate that. I hate that.
It's not to think, because this is an old person being told this medicine does this and this does that. I mean, it happens to old people, seriously. If you don't know, this does happen to old people.
I know it happens to old people, and it pisses me off. I hate it when people go at them and they take advantage of them that way. It's low. It's so low. They shouldn't even have legs. That's so low of them to do that. That's horrible.
I know. I do agree with you that it's low, but this is business. When it comes to business, anything goes.
It is low. And it is business. And it's horrible. Why should I find it entertaining, funny, or even compelling? It's pissing me off. It's making me angry. It's upsetting.
clearly there's a clash in opinions here, clearly. And I don't want to be in this situation, but we have to finish this review. No, but still, let's move on besides the flim flam, because there's more to the flim flam than we're letting on.
You might have noticed that I am only focusing on the aspects that I didn't like of the episode. Like I said, there are good things in this episode, but it's like that there are those that are grinding my gears and they're making me really, really mad. Because it's the stupidest situation you can imagine. It's like you bring up these...
That's not a word.
You bring them back. Why do you have to bring them back if you are not going to do something interesting with them?
No, but they did. Okay,
they didn't.
No, as a point of...
They didn't. They reprised the role from the Super Speed Decider Squeezy 6000.
But that's the thing, James. They're con artists that really do... They con people out of their money. They even do that in the comics. Every
time an antagonist has come back to the TV show, they have done something interesting with them. Trixie first comes to the TV show to Ponyville like a magician, a traveling magician. When she comes back, she is turned into an all-powerful overlord that tries to take over the town. And then they kick her out. Discord, he is the Lord of Chaos. They vanquish him, and then they bring him back to reform them. And guess what? They did. They were having a very good role of bringing back villains and antagonists and redeeming them and giving them a character arc. A good villain has a character arc where it goes from either being good, then being evil, then being good again. Look at Darth Vader. Darth Vader has a character arc that you can follow. He starts being Anakin Skywalker, then he becomes Darth Vader, where he is absolutely evil, and then he ends up redeeming himself by killing the Emperor and helping destroy the Empire, redeeming himself. That's a character arc. That's called having a story that you can follow and that you can relate with. You can see a character arc with Discord. You can see one with Trixie. You cannot see one with the Flim Flam brothers. They start being...
That's not a word.
And con artists. They start like that. They continue like that. They end like that. They left Ponyville with their tails between their legs on the first time they showed up. On the second time, they do the same.
Yeah, maybe that's the point of their character.
That's not
a word.
Point, Norman. Don't you see? That's a horribly written villain. That's a badly written antagonist.
Yeah, but the point of this thing is, or their character is, they're meant to be that way. They're two brothers who were, I'm going to say, not brought up well in life, and the only way they know how to advance is to cheat people out of their money. Hence, con artists. And con artists do exist in this world.
Yeah, don't get me started on that, Norman. Don't get me started on that. Because things like that have, and this is where I go with my personal issues with episodes, characters, storylines, plots, whatever, in that I have been affected by that kind of behavior in the past. Mm-hmm. My family has been affected by that as well. I don't like that kind of character. I really don't. Unless they do something interesting with it. And this episode doesn't. This episode plays it very safe. I will give it that credit. It's like, I don't consider it unwatchable. I don't think it's a horrible episode. I think it's a horrible concept. But the execution saves it. Can we talk about the things that I liked so I can balance out?
Yeah, sure. I mean, okay, let's just play safe. Let's not mention the flim flam near the end.
I thought the conflict that Applejack goes through was very realistic and very relatable. More than once, you are forced to keep up a lie, to keep a person's happiness going. And not until you realize that maybe keeping up that lie has made more damage than you can imagine.
Oh, that is true.
And you have to face the consequences. That is actually something that I sadly can relate to because I have been there before. When it comes to be an Applejack episode, this is a very good Applejack episode. I will be honest with you. Applejack was great. Mm-hmm. And so was Big Macintosh. They were the best of the Apple family members. Apple Bloom and Granny Smith were idiots for believing the Flim Flam brothers after they almost take their farm, okay? No.
Sorry, with Apple Bloom, she's young. When Applejack says okay, she says it's okay. So I won't blame Apple Bloom that much. With Granny Smith, that's another different story.
Granny Smith is just stupid because she thinks that she's not going to be able to keep swimming again. So she's been affected by her old age. That's fine. Let's go back on track, because I didn't finish saying that this is a good Applejack episode, and it's good. It presents her conflict. It's a good episode to reveal her key. It's a good episode to reveal how she has to break her alignment, how she has to break her honesty, and how she ends up finding out that she's wrong in everything that she has been doing the entire episode. Mm-hmm. I like that she figures out that the tonic doesn't do anything before the halfway point, that she figures out that this is all a lie, that she is going to call out the Flim Flam brothers, and the Flim Flam brothers are sniveling and loving having to control Applejack, in that, what are you going to do? Are you going to lie, to tell the truth to your Granny Smith, and she's going to fall down and depressed? Are you going to take the happiness away from her? And of course, Applejack doesn't want to do that because she's her grandma. I like that conflict. In that regard, it's a good episode. And no, it's a very good episode in that regard. And again, we go to the same thing that clicks well with me, in that I like to see my favorite character suffer. I love Applejack. I love to see her suffer. But I'm starting to get tired that she has to suffer through the same guys over and over again. Like, she suffered when she lost 3 Apple Acres to the Flim Flam brothers, and she's suffering when she's getting forced to give her name to discredit her seal of approval to this tonic that is made by these guys.
I do agree with you. This is a very good Applejack episode. The conflict of alignment with her, it's a really fun play. I do like when characters, especially Applejack, have to break their alignment, or have to pick their alignments, or are forced basically on their alignments. It happens in D&D, and I do like those kind of situations where the writer or the GM plays on a person's alignment.
Well, when that happens, just to make a little extra, but when that happens in D&D, you get a punishment when you have to break your alignment. But this is a very interesting concept of breaking the usual tone that we have had with the key episodes in this TV show. Like Rarity and Rainbow Dash, they were betraying their alignment. They were breaking their generosity and their loyalties. So they had an episode where they do that, and then they have to recover it again. Mm-hmm. Pinkie Pie, she wasn't doing her alignment from the get-go. She wasn't following the laughter, so she had to get back on track. Fluttershy, she was forced to break her alignment in order to get the episode moving. Mm-hmm. Applejack is a case apart. I'm not entirely sure what they're doing with her alignment, but they're not breaking it. They are not. They are not working against it. It's like from the get-go, it's like they are definitely not using it. No, she's not being honest. She's not using her honesty.
James, I think the best way to describe Applejack's situation in this one is they're playing with her alignment real hard. Because the thing is, whatever the Flim Flam told her about the apple juice with beet leaves inside it, it's technically... if they say, if we do this, we do this. And if Granny Smith is happy, are you willing to tell her the truth that she's drinking a lie? And Applejack says, well, if she's happy, technically if she's happy and the medicine kind of works, it's not telling a lie. And that is where they play on Applejack's alignment. And every time when there's a chance for her to tell the truth, she always gives a subpar excuse or a subpar explanation that if she's happy, then it works. Yeah.
But then we go to the same problem, is that Applejack is violating her alignment. She's not following it. She's betraying herself. She's lying to herself, and on top of that, she's lying to her family. It is good the moment where she's finally had enough and she stops Granny Smith from dropping to her doom, because she was basically going to kill herself.
Oh yeah.
By jumping into that bath of water, which by the way had the rainbow colors.
Oh yeah.
The rainbow colors were all over the episode. They were on the bath of water, they were on the floaters on the swimming pool, and they were on the little umbrella that they had at the beginning when they were swimming in the little lake. Yeah. The rainbow motif was all over this episode, hidden in very smart ways.
Oh, I didn't notice.
And I like when she finally confronts everyone and reveals that, when she reveals that the tonic is a fake, I like that Ponyville doesn't go crazy against her.
Oh, yeah. That is a good aspect to it.
I was relieved. I was like, I swear to God, if suddenly Ponyville picks up the torches and the pitchforks and they go after Applejack, I'm going to murder this episode. Because that would have been like the ultimate insult. I will be like, this is horrible. Because it's not her fault. And they know it. They know it's not her fault. It's the fault of the two little...
That's not a word.
...that are the Flim Flam brothers that escape. And they run away. They run away to scam another day. These guys are never going to get a redemption.
Oh, yeah, obviously. I mean, putting the Flim Flam brothers aside, right, because I kind of like them because they're joke villains, because they're trying to be villainous, but they're not. You don't like them because of that. So, I mean, clearly we are going to have conflicting opinions on the Flim Flam. So, let's agree to disagree on that. But moving on...
I don't agree. Because the first time they attack Applejack, the first time they attack her with her economy, and the second one, they attack her with her feelings and her emotions. They are treacherous, they are horrible, they are conniving, and I don't like them.
I like them because of that, so...
And speaking of things that they do that I don't like, remember how in the Super Speedy Saturday Squeezy 6000 we had a really catchy, really awesome, really fun song?
Yeah.
Cannot say the same for this episode.
I do like the song.
I'm sorry, but a song is as good as you can remember it when the episode is over. When I watched the episode the second time, I was like, oh, wait a minute, there is a song? I literally forgot that this episode had a musical number.
Okay, I mean... funny enough that you said that. When I watched the live stream for this episode, I watched it on Otaku.
The Otaku Ascended. This is the same one that I use.
Yeah, and they said this. They did not like the first one, but they liked this one, and they said this also, that the new one, this one, was shorter than the previous one. The previous one was longer, and when I checked the timestamp, they were almost the same.
Really?
Yeah. They're off by a margin of 10 seconds. So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Off by a margin of 10 seconds. I think the new one is shorter by 10 seconds, maybe? Yeah. But still, besides that, to me, the song was nice. I especially love the end where Applejack told Big Mac that this was not going to end well. Inception horn noise.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I sound like a complete downer, especially when it comes down from the previous episode where I was gushing like a broken fire hose. But you have to understand that. Perhaps it was a combination of several things. It combines that I didn't really like the premise of the episode, that I didn't like these characters, that I didn't like the setup, and it follows up on an episode that, in my opinion, might as well be one of the best episodes of the entire series. Like, it is difficult to follow up For Whom the Suitable Toils with an episode like this. And yeah, okay, they are completely different storylines. They are completely different episodes. They have absolutely nothing to do in common. But when you are having such a good run of good, positive, and all of a sudden you have this one, it kind of like pisses me off. Because I am like, I want to love every single episode of this TV show. Like, you hear me every week. You hear me every time we review an episode. I am the voice of positivity, love, and admiration. Hell, Norman, didn't I change your mind about Simple Ways?
Yep. Because that was one of the episodes that I didn't had a positive outlook on it because certain aspects about it. And after you told me about certain things, I kind of like it.
Yeah, because the way I explained to you how the episode was supposed to be played and my point of view, you managed to see it from my point of view, and you'll be able to change your mind about it. However, I don't think anyone is going to be able to change my mind about Leap of Faith.
I can understand. It's a combination of a lot of factors affecting you personally because, like you said, the Flim Flam brothers conning people, it affected you in real life. So I can understand why you don't like this episode on a personal standpoint. So I don't blame you.
I think I and the thing is that I wasn't in a bad place when I watched it. And I definitely wasn't in a bad place when I rewatched it. Like, I rewatched it yesterday. It was 31st of March, and 2014, and I was feeling great. Like, I woke up feeling awesome, went to bed feeling awesome, and I was feeling awesome all the way. And I was like, this is a perfect moment to watch this episode because I am in a good mood, I'm happy, I'm positive. Let's see if my first impression is wrong. And it wasn't. I still got the same impression as before, and I'm still trying to remember the music tone, how the film flam curative tonic or whatever it's called was going, and I cannot remember. I remember the ponies with all the diseases. That was cool. I like to see all the different ailments that ponies have, like the inflamed tonsils and the swollen hooves and the pony that was butthurt. Sorry guys, I kind of remember you when I say the word butthurt. But I do have a good set of things that I like about that episode. The thing is that the one thing that I don't like is a very big deal breaker for me. That's why I say sometimes you see these things that I've said you about this episode that make you not like it, but for me it's not a deal breaker. Like, Rarity's attitude in simple ways. Okay, I can see why you don't like it, but it's not a deal breaker for me. Like, the main six, the way the main six were acting in Bats. Yeah, I can see why you'd be upset with that, but not a deal breaker for me. The comic disappearing in Power Ponies. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but not a deal breaker for me. And that it comes to that. When it comes to that, this episode had too many deal breakers for me to thoroughly enjoy it.
Yeah, I understand. Like the things that you said previously. So I understand those facts because I too had a few episodes where I said deal breaker, not my episode. This is one of the worst episodes. Out of 10, this is a 4. Bad boo. So yeah, I do understand.
All right. I think we should give a final verdict, and you should be the first. So go ahead.
Yeah, as a Applejack episode and a key episode, this is one good episode for her. In my opinion, the whole Flim Flam song, not memorable yet, but I can't wait to listen a few times to get the tone. But it's okay. Overall, for me, out of 10, I would give it a 7 or an 8.
Wow, really?
There are certain things about this episode. I do like it, but I won't put it that high because there are certain aspects to this episode where things could have gone better, things could have written well, and overall, it's a good episode, but it didn't push me beyond the limit because the song, that's the problem. I got no idea. I mean, I do enjoy the song, but I cannot remember the song. If I can remember, I would push it up. I like it.
You have the same problem that I did. Yeah, you like the song, but you have the same problem that I did.
That's true. Don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but I do like the song, but I cannot remember it. It could be because I just listened to it a few times. Maybe I need to listen it more, but still, it's not memorable. That's the thing. And if I'm not mistaken, I did mention this to you in a previous episode, in maybe Rarity Takes Manhattan, where I said I couldn't remember the song until I heard it a few more times.
Yeah, I know. It also depends on whether it gets into you or not. For me, that song got into me kind of like immediately because it had a very good mix between singing and speaking parts, which is one of my favorite types of song. That you have a singing part and then you have a speaking part. Those songs I love. Similar to Be Prepared from Lion King. Be Prepared had a very similar structure when it comes to like speaking, then singing, then speaking. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. You know, you're going to be surprised because, okay, you say you give it a 7 or an 8 out of 10. I will give it my lowest rating of the entire season so far, but my lowest rating is something between a 6 and a 7.
Okay.
I mean, it's not a failure. It's not an F. It's not an average episode. It's slightly a bit more above average in that It has a very good aspect to it, that is Applejack's conflict. I love how she's debating with herself. The revelation of her key is very well done. Yeah. I love Lyra holding the scoreboard. Yeah. That was hilarious. I didn't feel much for the character of Silver Shield, but he was harmless. And I did kind of feel bad for Granny Smith, even though she was a complete idiot like Apple Bloom was. They were two idiots. They were trusting these guys. God, I don't want to go into that. Yeah. But yeah, I will give it between a 6 and a 7. I mean, it's not a bad episode. I'll watch it. Like I always say, it's like, no, it's not a watch episode. You know, it's not a bad episode, but if people are watching it, I'll totally join and watch it again.
Oh, fun fact about Silver Shield. Silver Shield. Wow.
He is voiced by Sweetie Belle's father. James Young Corck.
Yeah, and he's Goku in the ocean dub of Dragon Ball Z. Just wait for him to go Saiyan, man. But anywho,
it killed me that his cutie mark was spectacles.
No comment there, man. I mean, still, it's fun. It's just fun to have people from the old days coming back to do some work. But anywho, James, well, what about next week? What's next week's episode?
Next week's episode, we have testing, 1, 2, 3, which is episode 21 of season 4, episode 86 overall, written by Amy Keating Rogers.
Ooh, AKR. This is fun.
And if you remember from the interview that we had with her, this is the last episode that she's written for the season. And will it be the last episode that she's written for the show? Only season 5 will tell.
I hope not. I do enjoy her work. That's the thing. So anyway, James, let's end this.
Yeah, I agree. It's time that we end this. Norman, give me the shotgun. I'm going to end this. Oh, wait, no, you didn't mean that. Okay, yes, sorry. Woo! Nobody has to know what we're going to do after the episode is over. Damn.
Yeah, no, we still have Buck. No, we still have Buck.
Oh, dear me. Okay, so this is the end of the review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This has been James Corck.
And I am Norman Sanzo.
And we'll see you on the next MBS show review. Have a good one, everybody.
See ya.